All right, hola guys, que paso? How's everyone doing? This is Hala Pablo. Thank you for tuning in. I hope everyone's been making money and taking advantage of these momentums that we've been seeing in the alts. Now the alts have kind of cooled off, if you noticed, right? Especially the memes have kind of cooled off. I think Pepe might have pumped a little bit earlier, but like a lot of them have already just kind of had their run for now for this section, and they're cooling off a bit, and so all eyes now are on Bitcoin. The alts have kind of taken a back seat again because I think everyone's waiting to see what Bitcoin does here. What in the world is Bitcoin going to do? We had the all-time high. We had the 104,000 or whatever it was. And then we had that steep sell-off, just like we said. If you've been watching my videos, I told you, we're most likely going to break 100,000, and that's going to be they're just buttering everyone up. Uh, to hop in the news media, everyone's going to be on it, and the institutional guys, the market makers, are going to use all that positive news sentiment as a catalyst to feed into the greed dynamic and get people in there unawares, and then once enough join the party, they pull the rug out and it falls, and that's what we saw here. You see that how manipulated this thing is and how treacherous. And so, but it didn't fall as far as I thought it would. So basically, what it did was it mitigated this low here, and uh, and so we had a mitigation along the lows of this, if we call this ascending channel that I kind of drew out here. This is kind of like a sign of maybe like a sign of weakness in B. No, it wouldn't be a sign of weakness in B if this were the UT. This is more like just a sign of weakness. And then it came up and then back down. It didn't go up past the halfway point, and so it was looking kind of, and plus the on balance volume was kind of low, so it didn't look like it was going to do. We had that video that I did a couple days ago where we talked about the crown, that 5 point crown. Well, here it is right here, and then I said usually it'll come back up, and then we'll have that dump where it'll go down. Now I was saying that when we fell, that we would go down to, like, say, into the 80s, into the mid 80s, 85 or something like that, and that would kind of mirror a little bit of what we did back in 2001 in the same area as we're embarking upon the macro bull market, and with the altcoins and Bitcoin after a period of deep consolidation, long consolidation. And it was even like around the same time of the year. That bull market started in January, and we're sitting here in December, about almost 3 years to the month. And so if you look back to the 2021 cycle, we came up. I don't think it came back up to make another all-time high. I think it came up and to about where we were here. You see these devil horns? I call them devil horns. It's really like a double top. Yeah, this like double top area was where back in 2001 it would have fallen back down, and it would have gone a lot deeper. It would have gone down to like the 80s, and so instead we came down to like 92, and then we had a real fast bounce. It's so resilient, man. There's so much power and buying power, and that's another reason why it's different. It's different now. You're never going to have the same thing twice. You could have a certain resemblance in general, a kind of general governance as far as the trajectory of the waves, which it'll obey. But it's never quite that. Sometimes it goes deeper, sometimes it goes higher, sometimes not as doesn't have as much intensity. Here we saw a lot of intensity, and we had a real resilient bounce, and it came back up to like mid channel here. And now the question is this area, this consolidation area where we are on the 4 hour and the macro, as you see here, this looks very bullish, doesn't it? It looks like a spring. It looks like I mean, I trade these all day long. I would definitely go long here, but this is Bitcoin. And so you have to take everything with a grain of salt, what you see. Bitcoin has has a tendency to buck the trend left, right, and center all day long, especially when you have this kind of intense FOMO, FOMO or FUD or whatever it is. It just magnifies it and amplifies it to the umpteenth degree, and it throws all the TA out the window, and that's why it just confounds analysts. But as it stands, this here looks bullish. It looks like it can at least, it's looking to like put up another leg, in the least to perhaps bring up a wall to mitigate the all-time high here, which I think it's probably going to do. If I had to bet, I think that this is going to, because of the spread, the spread and is being decreased, and the supply and demand are also systematically decreasing, and the price isn't falling beneath the macro trend resistance line. It's usually a sign of consolidation or absorption. And if this does start to head back up, I think it's going to first mitigate this area, and then second, this area. And so we're going to have like, it'll mitigate the all-time high, and then from there we'll just have to look at the volume. I think the FOMO is going to be unreal, and I think more people are going to jump into it, and that would turn this would no longer be a UTAD, because the UTAD is the final upthrust after distribution, and from there it's just redistribution ranges as the asset works itself back down, and it's a proper top. That would make this maybe like an SOS area, a sign of strength instead, which coming after, or even like a major SOS, and coming after this upthrust, and then whatever this peaks out at, that would be the proper UTAD. That would be this, and then the LPSYs coming in from there. So that's something that is possible. I'm not counting that out. It just depends on how much FOMO is generated, and how many people jump into this, and how high they set those sell order blocks. So, but make no mistake, it is coming down. It will come down. Profits will be taken, and when it comes down, it's going to be steep, and they're going to take no prisoners. So it's not going to be something like this, where it comes up and then you have a bounce, it goes back up to the 0.5 Fibonacci line or whatever, like midpoint, and then reconsolidates. No, this is going like when the real corrections come, it's going to drop, and it's going to come up a little bit more. Maybe people get in, and then it's going to drop again, and it's going to keep doing that, and it'll probably take it all the way down to the 80s, to the 70s, 60s even. This could happen. People laugh and say, nah, man, we're going to 200,000. Bitcoin is just up, 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 up from here. Do you know they say that every time, every cycle? I've been in Bitcoin since 2017, and every single bull cycle, they say, not this time. It's going to be different. It's going to be different. It's going to be different. And it is a little bit different, with the little details, perhaps. Maybe it doesn't go as deep or doesn't go as high. But one thing is for sure, there is every cycle, there's a macro bull, there's a macro bear that follows it. There are deep retracements that go in over 50% easily. So when that comes, hopefully we'll be able to identify it, and if it marks up from here, we can be cautious about that potential UTAD. So we need to look at Bitcoin and keep all these things in mind. Look at it daily, kind of like a sailor out on the ocean. You look at the stars, right? Bitcoin is kind of like the stars, the guiding light, for the rest of the crypto markets. And so if we have a good handle on Bitcoin, then we can go into the alts. Right now, the alts are kind of cooling off because everyone's looking at Bitcoin to see what Bitcoin's going to do. But we can look at stuff like Zcash, for example. Yeah, here's Zcash, right? Zcash is Zcash is bullish right now, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It is. But it's not really pumping. Nothing's really pumping right now. I mean, like, look at all these, these are all the coins on my Hala Hodl list, which basically the vast majority of them can be found on the Grayscale asset chart. So many of them. which incidentally, Zcash is in Grayscale, right? In the currency section, they got Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Stellar Lumens, XRP, and Zcash. Those are the six under currencies. And so those of us who are into Zcash, congratulations. Zcash is, if you're a Zcasher and you've had faith in Zcash and you've been accumulating, you've been DCAing in Zcash, hats off to you. I commend you. And because you're not alone, we have solidarity with the big boys, with the institutions, because Grayscale also has Zcash. So they saw something in it. So anyway, but here's Zcash. And going off of Bitcoin, what we saw in Bitcoin is clear that this is a bullish. It's like a kind of like a bull flag, right? But would I jump into Zcash? Would I take a position in Zcash right now? To swing it, perhaps. I don't really swing Zcash, but if I wanted to, I wouldn't. I wouldn't just yet, even though this is bullish. I wouldn't because Bitcoin is still undecided on what it's going to do. If I see Bitcoin beginning to mark back up from the channel where it is, because right now it's under. See, like this is like the 0.5, like this LPSY supposed area. If we continue, if it can't hold this, like if this on balance volume, we begin to see deeper depressions in the red, and it's not able to hold this quadrant here, then and it starts coming down here, then yeah, that's not going to be good for the alts until it stabilizes. Now, the lower Bitcoin goes, as long as it stabilizes and doesn't just whole-scale dump, as long as it stabilizes, but it's going down a little bit and it's not as aggressive or not bullishly aggressive, then that's going to feed into the dominance of the altcoins. And now we're going to see the altcoins return. And then we can get into to Zcash or like whatever coins that you have an affinity to swing. I have plenty. But until then, you're taking a big risk, especially with Bitcoin in this. I mean, we don't know yet if this is a reaccumulation or a redistribution. Like I said, if it comes back up to remitigate up here, then it's obviously a reaccumulation. And if it does that, then we can maybe expect it to clear the next liquidity void up here, this top. And then from there, it would kind of complete like a cup and handle, I guess, which is a bullish continuation pattern. But with Bitcoin and with it being so overbought in these areas, because we're going to be up here at the upper part of this ascending channel, where it's kind of been trending since like before the election. It's risky because it's going to be overbought at this area, and then we can kind of anticipate kind of like what happened here. But the next time, we may not have a recovery so quickly. We could be going down for a while. And if you buy up here or you're in the alts and you bought the alts up there or whatever because you jumped into this too impetuously, then you can get stuck underwater for a few weeks. And that's the last thing you want, is to have all your cash, all your fiat in an underwater position in like some coin that you're not even committed to. You just wanted to swing it to generate liquidity. And now Bitcoin dumped and it pulled it down. And now all your money is stuck up on the top of some altcoin cycle. And Bitcoin is at bargain basement prices, and all the coins that you love are like ready to be bought up. They're ready to be bought up, and they're fixing to rebound. And guess what? You can't buy anything because all your money is tied up because you didn't exercise patience and discipline and wait for Bitcoin to play its hand out. It's like a poker game. Bitcoin's got to show its hand. It hasn't showed its hand yet. The hand is either going to say reaccumulation or redistribution. If it shows, depending on what it shows, then we play our hand. Okay, so that's about it. We're kind of at that area right now. I hope you all have been making money. I've done very, very well. I know people in my group have. Those who have followed my signals, I'm 15 for 15 in my altcoin swings. I make a average of about 23% on each swing for a duration of, on average, about 3 days, 3 to 4 days. So, very, very happy so far. It's been very successful. It's been very good. It's been very easy. It's been very predictable. I love altcoin season. I love altcoins. I actually prefer altcoin season to Bitcoin. You know, when altcoins have their dominance, to me, I much prefer altcoin dominance to Bitcoin dominance. But that's just me. I make a lot more money. So, all right. Let me let you go. If you guys got anything out of this video, like, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Try to get the subscribership up. I'm trying to hit 100,000. Trying to hit 1,000 by the end of this year. If I do that, I'll start making shorts, and I'll start doing like specific swing trades, like coins that I'm in, just to thank you as a token for putting me over 1,000. I'll throw you guys some freebies, and if you like to take your trading up your chart reading skills and your trading skills up a notch, consider joining our Discord. I keep it extremely affordable, $20 a month, and you get all my when I'm getting in, when I'm getting out, and all my Fibonacci extensions and retracements, and all my preliminary levels where I'm entering these coins. So I swing about 7 or 8 at a time. And so, like I said, doing very, very well. Haven't missed out on one yet. So, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed it. Be safe in the markets. This isn't financial advice. None of my videos are financial advice, but you already knew that, right? All right, guys, I got to go. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. God bless. Bye.